Stranger Things is a show that is a bit strange in just the production and its value, because it has literally all the feels, all the story in 8 episodes. But yet, I just feel for these characters even though I don't even know them on this level. I don't need 7 seasons. Just 1 season just tells me what type of character these people are. Yo, what up, my cheese army? How y'all doing? Another TV show review. I know I've been doing those a lot lately. It's the summer. You know, you gotta watch your TV shows. Okay, so this show is called Stranger Things, obviously, as you can tell by the intro. And this show is amazing. But let's get to the plot. The plot is that there's this missing boy, Will, who just goes missing for unknown reasons, as the show will tell you. Trying to keep the spoiler free, of course. And this mother goes crazy trying to find this kid, goes to the detective, David Harbour, and the mother is Winona Ryder. And they're pretty much trying to find who Will is, and then there's the whole idea that Will has friends, of course. They have these 3 friends. They're all, you know, they're best buds. They've been hanging out since they were like young kids, even though they are kids. Point is, they had some history together, so they're trying to find Will, but then they come across this young girl named 11, or as tattooed on her arm, 0111, so 11, or L as they call her, and they're trying to find out the connection between this little girl and Will, and trying to find what is happening in this small town in the US of A. And this show has a lot going for it. A lot that I'm not telling you, because this show wants you to suspend your disbelief. The trailers, of course, do a great job literally symbolizing or trying to show you what the show really is about. And it's not really about like what the strange things are, but really the bond connections and like this whole missing person case. And you always love a missing person case, though I don't like that to happen in real life. When you watch it in a movie, TV show form, or any form of media besides real life, it's interesting because you want to see the detective, or you want to see the main person just like find it, or the main people who are trying to find it. And I love that the kids were trying to find it, and like the detective were trying to find it. But there's strange things going on, and they explain it in scientific ways that I love how they do this. Science fiction has always been like a plus for me because I hate science, but when it comes to fiction, it's just great. The theories that they bring out of dimensions, of exploring many worlds, and the many world theory. I've seen in Flash, but Flash is using it in a fun way. This is a bit serious. But point is, I just love how they explain all this. It's just like they just put it there in this blah 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 science stuff, and then they show you a demonstration. I just love how they hypothesize that. And this is very 80s filled, like anything 80s, like references, for example, or the way it even looks, it's 80s. And though people might say, oh, an old style isn't as great, I like the fact that they actually explore this, because back then that's the thing, that's exploring the unknown. And it's great how they dealt with that. They had that 80s cliches, that the way they did it. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I get it, you're going that route, and I'm like, the show's from the 80s, yeah, that makes total sense. It's just that click. And it's great that they use 80s cliches or 80 movie tropes, like from The Thing, and they even reference The Thing. So I was like, holy shit, they just referenced The Thing. That's awesome. And it's not like a huge point is, references aside, this is 80s filled. But then there are the cliches, and you're gonna drop them off. You're gonna be a bit and the CGI is a bit, off. But let's forget all that production detail. Let's go to the cast. And Winona Ryder, the mother of Will, is fantastic. You actually believe that she's crazy because she's going crazy trying to find his son. Of course a mother would do that. But then you're like, damn, you're going a bit too extreme. Like, she's trying to find out because she thinks she's in a new realm, or he's in a new realm, and like they put lights up because she thinks that she's communicating with them. Everyone else is crazy. I'm like, dude, you're trying, like, I'm on your side, but you're not convincing. And then David Harbour, oh my god, he was such a douchebag in the beginning. It's like at the very beginning, you're like, this guy fucking sucks. But then you get it because he's it's a small town, and nothing's going on, and the whole big government conspiracies from the 80s, the whole issue of the whole plot points, and all these characters did a great job. 80 scripts, of course, and the most lovingly are these kids. These kids are unknown, and I wish I know their names just on the top of my head, because there are barely any known actors or people that I know, because these kids are amazing. I really don't like child performances because they're not really children. Either they act like adults or they just act too wacky that you don't even believe they're kids. These kids are awesome. Oh my god, I hang out with them. They get bullied, which is like they're nerds and stuff, but then you see the character and you see how they would act, and they act like kids. They act like kids because they swear, they play games, they're trying to find it, like they talk it out, they finish sentences, they don't finish sentences, they have awkward pauses, awkward moments, they just look at each other. There are these kid tropes and you're like, okay, that's it. And you even giggle and smile when they do certain jokes or certain things that kids would do. You're like, dude, that's pretty adorable, man. That doesn't make me feel like when they do certain things, I'm like, that's sick. And then besides the positives and negatives are, it's cliched in the fact that you kind of expect, okay, I get why you're doing it, but then I'm like, dude, chill. I get the tributes. They do many tributes to the many Stephen King novels or anything 80s, or even the movies, like from, like horror creepy movies like The Thing even, or like other stuff like that. And I always wonder, like, oh my god, okay, I get the reference and I get you're trying to go in that route, but then you're like, don't overreach it. But the plot point and everything kind of seems a bit cliched. I think that, they could have done it better, or they could have, made it a more original story. But then again, it's a sci-fi movie, and it's great how they ended the season 2, or season 1 odd to make it a season 2, where I'm like, because when I was wondering, it was like 8 episodes. This seems like a contained movie rather than a TV show. And then I'm like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I want to see that explored. And they have that little hint like, yeah, make a season 2 if this makes sense to any of you. I'm like, dude, I'm in. I'm totally in. This show is everything that I was kind of expecting, but a bit more. But with the cliches aside, I think this show does a great job. It's always like an outstanding movie, and this is a movie that does everything right about a horror or thriller type show, because I was a bit scared. I don't like horror movies that much. So when I was going in, I was like, I had to face my fears, and I went in, I'm like, okay, this is not really horror, there's some scary parts and just spook you, but then you're like, it's not a big deal, it's not gonna keep me awake at night, so there's that. But, check this show out. I'm gonna give this show an 8 out of 10. It's a basic, decent show that anyone who's into thrillers, and it's not gonna scare you that much. Honestly, I wasn't scared that much, but I don't know, that doesn't really tell you anything. I mean, I don't watch a lot of horror movies, so I guess. Point is, watch the show. It's great. No spoilers because it's 8 episodes. There's really no point in me spoiling anything because this show is so contained that you guys should honestly just watch it for yourselves. Anyway, did you watch Stranger Things, or what was your favorite part of this show? Anyway, I love this show so much that you guys should watch it. I don't know why I said that. I always reiterate. Yo, like this video, comment down below, and till next time.